So I'm very excited to see what you guys have to offer today. Over to you.
Good day, judges. We've been briefed to plan, organize, as well as to create a new brand positioning for the event launch, as well as to play the TVC. So I'm going to take you through our thinking. We have found that each theme in the event has its own role to play overall concept. The DNA is the building blocks that makes us as humans. The code is the technology that makes our lives better. Magic is the unexplainable reaction that gives our own personal experience. And when you step outside the elevator in the location, there's a dark room that can be easily used to communicate technology, welcoming our guests with the ice sculpture in the front that brings in the magic. When you step inside, on the left, there's a nice library that can be filled with TV screens, seeing that we are launching a TVC. And with that, we can have brand love showcasing there, brand loyalty, human connection, the behind the scenes of the TVC, as well as the reruns of TBNA.
Judges, I do not believe that I can move forward with this presentation. Firstly, because I feel like my work is not represented, and I feel like if my fellow contestants agree with me, that some of their work is not represented either. Also, looking at the slide, it is not the slide that was sent last night.
I noticed that it's not the slide that was sent last night, but I was waiting for the end of the presentation. Is this the second last slide?
This is the second last slide on the creative.
Zanika, you wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to add that also, like, for me, it's the first time that I'm even seeing the actual concept. Like,
What are you talking about? This is a team challenge. How could you not have seen it?
We weren't allowed to see
we were
it
sent
until 5 minutes before it was sent to Terry.
This presentation that you're getting now was sent to us this morning, but because obviously we're getting ready to go, like, I didn't really, like, see it, like, read through it, because we're getting ready to come here.
What are you
all got
talking
to
about?
see it this morning only.
Yes.
And
the final presentation that you are
So who's seen this
getting.
before? Who changed this?
Judges,
Does it even make sense?
we have had multiple platforms of sharing information and giving each other an opportunity to brainstorm and work together. There have been drafts upon drafts of this presentation, where we've all been tasked to look at the presentation, add what you need to add, comment on the presentation. We've even gone back and forth with the entire concept of trying to link the 3 themes chosen by client: DNA, code, and magic. We've gone back and forth to then eventually come to the idea of placing this type of imagery, graphics, and as well as the entire concept. The whole team sitting together in brainstorming sessions.
I
beg
beg
to
to
differ,
differ,
Kitty.
Kitty.
It was only Mpo, Kitty, and Kebo. They were
Actually
grouped on their
sat
own.
in front of the computer to compile everything.
Yes.
Every time we asked to get access, it was...
Just wait.
Just wait. We're in the middle of it. We'll send you the final draft, and then you guys can either say yes or no.
Or no.
So in terms of conceptualizing our actual ideas, for us to sit, all 8 of us, in front of a computer and go step by step like we normally do, this week, that was not done.
Just a question. So, did you guys do a dry run for this presentation? in
No,
terms of-
that was not done either.
Okay,
We were-
so you're just coming in here
Yes.
in this boardroom
And nobody knows what anyone else is saying.
Last
for
night,
this competition.
Last night we
At this
asked
stage
At
of the
this
competition,
stage,
you're
yes.
telling us you're coming
Okay.
here unprepared.
Last night we asked our, sorry, Odette. Last night we asked our leader what's the dry run going to be for our order. He said we're only going to speak when our slide appears. I don't have a slide. Chase doesn't have a slide.
He said that's how we're going to know the order, that when your slide comes up, then you speak. There was no dry run as to who is saying what, and exactly so that it's formulated in a way that we all echoing each other's thoughts. Nobody knows. Like, I'm surprised at half the things that he's saying, like I said, because I only saw this final presentation this morning.
Portia?
We were all tasked to go through our own slide. We did not practice it as a team, so I do not feel comfortable with knowing what everyone else is saying, apart from the stuff that I'm saying.
Sarah?
I believe that there was definitely a problem with communication. And my problem with this is, Mpo is a very, very, very hard worker. He's very dedicated. I will never, ever take that away from him. But with regards to dealing with clients' money, I think the problem began when the tasks were delegated initially. I believe that the task should have been delegated to the people that have the skill to execute the task as you are using real money. Secondly, if someone chose a task that was not suited to them, you needed to approach that person and say, for example, Tennille, I would have told you, Tennille, I do not believe you should have worked with the entertainment. You are an action-orientated person. Work with Chase in logistics. You will get things done. You're dealing with people's money. And I feel that's where the miscommunication came in, that people were working where they're not supposed to be working.
And if I can add...
So I'm interested in understanding, Paul was obviously the leader for this.
Yes.
Shiradel, why was he not, in your opinion, as good a leader as he should have been, in terms of the way you've just described, allocating tasks aligned to the person's capabilities, skills? What went wrong?
I believe what went wrong is the whole approach to planning an event for me is very human-centric. When you are a leader, you need to look at the different capabilities within your group and try to appeal to that person to bring out the best in them, despite personal feelings, whether we work differently, whether we don't, because you're dealing with clients' money. And I believe that's where we fell short. There was definitely gravitation, I noticed, imposed gravitation to certain people within the group to discuss key elements.
But who made him Paul? Paul took out the presentation. Paul put it. It's
We're
actually
rolling.
not. It's not you
Yes.
guys.
We're rolling.
Paul, off your phone.
Yes, excuse me. Sorry, Sylvester.
I'm looking
Have you
for-
lost the concept of this being the boardroom and a job interview?
No, ma'am.
So why would you be sitting on your phone?
I'm looking for
And why would you unplug the computer while we're rolling?
facts to answer everyone on my computer, as well as dates.
And on your phone?
That's what I'm doing because I've
Come on,
looked
Paul.
at- okay.
So we're obviously in a bit of a mess because I was actually quite excited about getting to see how we're going to wow Capitec, your future employer. And now we're sitting 3 slides in and there's a lot of issues. If Mpho was so problematic, who chose Mpho to be the leader?
He elected himself.
Sylvester, when we started choosing roles, it was a very communal kind of space. Everyone seemed okay with the role that they had chosen. In the first deliberation, after seeing the venue, we had another session to sit together where even Sharadel said, you know, honestly, I don't understand the different roles within planning an event. Could we please just decode them and make sure that everybody understands exactly what it is that they have to do? I think there was a certain point where people chose roles according to, oh, this is so cool, this is so interesting, I think I can do it. And when we moved forward and troubles and problems started to seep up, which naturally will happen, when asked, are you still okay? Is there something that you don't understand about what you have to do? And that is particularly from myself asking that question. Tennille, I remember posing this question to you, asking you if you're still okay, do you need help? You then replied by saying, no, I'm okay. I found another person who can do this and this and this. I know. And I highlighted you. Do you understand that within entertainment as well, there's still sound, there's still AV, there's still managing that for the entire night. Chase then highlighted that he feels he's not really understanding exactly what certain moments of logistics is. Again, Chase, and correct me if I'm wrong, I tried to explain to you just an overlay of basically this is what you're going to be handling.
I disagree with you.
Also, I just have a problem with that. Why are you playing team leader?
I'm wondering the same thing.
I was not playing team leader. I was
Well, it
just
seems like you
mending.
are. Would you agree,
I was mending the
Chase?
conversation.
That she is playing
But
team
that's not
leader.
your role.
Sharadel?
I would gracefully like to interject.
Yes.
You cannot skip the fundamentals of planning. At the fundamental stage of planning, I would have told Tennille, you cannot work in entertainment. I'm not going to set somebody up in my team for failure, very well knowing she does not have the skill to execute that task.
Well, I'm still asking the question, why are you playing team leader? Kitty?
I was not playing team leader. I was noticing that there is a personal energy that is coming in when we're working together. And I was just making sure that we can communicate and understand what work needs to be done before it's too late.
But you were very happy to come to this boardroom without having spoken to the team, all of you. And you know, I'm actually very angry, if I have to be honest with you, because there are so many young people who wanted to sit here. And we've selected now the top 8. And I'm sorry, I'm passionate about this because there are young people that are looking at this show who wanted to be here, who could have been doing a much better job. And you guys are prepared to just walk into this room, not prepared, not having rehearsed.
And using a client's money, real money, for an event that is very, very important for your future employer.
If I may, if I look at this situation as a whole, I'm so disappointed in myself and my fellow contestants that we let it get to this point. The fact that we allowed ourselves to not have our voices heard. I'm surrounded by professionals, talented young individuals who I respect, and I respect their opinions. And an environment was created that they felt even when they gave their opinion, multiple times, they were not heard. And if it was given or taken by our team leader, he would change it anyway.
So before I get to you, Mpo, as the team leader, Cebo, you've been extremely quiet and you're shaking your head and moving from side to side. I'm very keen to hear from you. And then I would like to hear your inputs, Mpo.
Ma'am, I've been observing mostly. And because I had chosen my role from the beginning, so did everyone else. And I focused on what I needed to do. I completed my task. Through the week, I've been noticing different energies. So when, like Chase is saying, when they have a problem, when people have a problem, it wasn't a matter of, okay, guys, can we stop and actually talk about this? Everyone stop. Can we just stop and talk about this? And then, because there was no like communication of like, okay, let's stop and let's listen to each other. Because it's been a thing of people are in groups and they're discussing this, then it just messes up with the group dynamic. Whereas things could have just been spoken about before we got to this point, because most of these things, you're only voicing them out now in the boardroom, whereas this conversation could have been had way before.
Mpo, how could you allow all of this to happen?
Thank you for giving this platform. So, the first day, we were given the brief, right? We discussed the brief, and everyone was happy that I could take the leadership role, knowing that I appointed myself, knowing that I'll encounter such. Moving forward, we all such
encounter
problems.
such
problems.
problems. So if you knew from the onset that as the leader you would encounter these problems, why didn't you sit back and ask somebody to...
But let's let him take us through the process.
Okay.
So we all sat together the first day, went through the brief, as well as gave each... Well, I didn't give them. Everyone asked for a task that they felt they were good at. And was all agreed. I compiled the task list, I emailed it to everyone. And with that said, now everyone started. But like Kitty had mentioned that, when it came to the entertainment side, because now we're not only dealing with artists, and there's sound, and there's AV, now it's too much to take. Because now, on the branding side, that I had to help Portia, that she said, I will handle branding. I don't know if she is strong in branding, she knows she picked it. She said she'll handle it, even though I had to come again in place to go, listen, we're going to need signage. We're going to need this. We're going to need that in branding. Moving to the goodie bags. The goodie bags. We spoke about the brief, and everyone should know what the concept is. I'm not sure if people know what the concept is and how we wanted this concept to live in the event. The goodie bag asked Zanika, what goodie bag ideas do you have? She gives me a photo frame. And for spot prizes, she gives me nail spa, hair treatment. And I asked her, is this living within the concept? Because the concept is DNA, it's technology and code. That's what we're communicating. How is this far off from our concept? So as a leader, again, I sat thinking, do I now dismiss her idea, or do I involve and work around her ideas so she feels involved with the concept? I sat down with her and I told her, listen, seeing that this is the concept, what we can do is we can bring in maybe goodie bags like your wallet, African wallet, African laptop bags, only because the vendors are outside the venue. And with that, we can take a picture, and when we give it to...
But African, did I hear you say?
Yes, African. Only
what
because
has African got to do with
we're touching
this?
on brand love. And that was agreed by myself, Sheridel, Kitty, and everyone was fine with it, and no one actually, no one objected.
Guys, there is another
Hold on,
bank
I want to,
that owns the African narrative.
Absolutely. No,
How on
absolutely.
earth could you even go down that?
I just want to hear what they want to say. Sorry, Odette.
Yeah.
Can I come?
With all due respect.
Give me, yeah.
With all due respect, Mpo, you are not the type of person we can come with creative because you told Chase you're going to punch him in the face when he comes with creative differences. Secondly, you told Zanika that she only looks good on camera, that's why she's here. She has no merit to be here. Kitty, you told Sheridel that she's aligning herself with people that have no talent. We all made sacrifices to be here. We all have talent. I'm so sorry, judges. We all came to Mpo with Chase and myself. We argued with this, the fact that the African print won't team in with the whole concept of the whole event.
And I absolutely agree with that.
He didn't listen to us. Portia, we all did a mood board where we presented our ideas, but as usual, Mpo only starts on his slide and takes things from other people's slides and starts on his slide. He doesn't start afresh because he wants his ideas to be there. And he only takes his favorite people, which is Kitty and Mpo and Kebo's things to be on the presentation. He doesn't consult us as a group. We have to wait 5 minutes before the time, before sending our deadline, before we can add changes. And it was spoken over us, not to us. He would be like, Kitty, me and you will discuss the presentation, do the presentation, we come back, and then you guys can add your changes. I asked, can't we discuss this as a group? Each one give their own creative opinion, and then together decide as a collective what goes on the presentation? No.
Well, it seems like everyone's agreeing to what Tania's saying. So you have to explain yourself because that is disgusting.
Well, we don't have a presentation,
Yeah.
you know?
Quite frankly, contestants, I've heard enough of your squabbling and squealing and throwing each other under the bus. We are here for a purpose, to see a presentation. Please proceed with the presentation. However, you are limited to 6 slides, and each person was meant to contribute. So I would like to know, as you go through each slide, please say, this is so-and-so slide, this is their concept, and take us through. From the top, please.
Let's go.
This is Chase's slide.
With the slide, I did not contribute anything to it. I asked, but I'm logistics. And for me, I've never done an event, so logistics, I understand, is a very big part of an event. And I was told, no, we should not have a logistics slide in this presentation because that is not what this presentation is about.
Who told you that?
So who designed the slide?
Who told you that, Kitty?
I said, Chase, we're going to pitch a concept to the client. Your component of the event for me lives in the actual execution. Do not panic, friend. We will get to the logistics. Let's sell it an idea, let's sell a concept, let's put it together, and when the client okays it, we begin to action.
Enough. So
Chase
let's continue.
asked to, and I've got text from him saying, I would like to speak from the lounge as well as the greenhouse.
Because that is the only thing that was on the presentation. I implored to you, I said, logistic. Sorry.
Let's continue with the
Let's continue with the presentation.
Cool.
So if this is Chase's presentation, Chase, can you present it, please?
Okay. In the bar lounge, what we are trying to do in the bar lounge is we are trying to create ambience. We will also be putting screens around the bar so that once the TVC is launched, people can view it from any place. We will also put in strong neon lines to kind of convey the technology aspect of it. What we'll also do, once the TVC is about to air, we will turn off the lights and black lights will come on. You will then see writing on the waiters and a few key aspects around the venue so that you can see the coding element, what is behind the furniture, behind the people. And what we also try to do is try to...
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next. Whose slide is this?
Chase?
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Chase has 2 slides.
No, it's one slide because it's a mood, a guest journey.
Okay.
In this living space, we wanted to create a more natural environment, speaking more to kind of DNA. We will have our VIP section in this section, also where the dance floor, the MC and the DJ will live.
That's slide 2 to me. Slide 3?
Yeah, I'm counting. Slide 3. Whose slide is this?
This slide is part animated for myself and Portia, dealing with the catering and the decor. What we wanted to do with the catering is to emulate the DNA, so taking fancy food and simplifying it to mirror the client's brief of simplicity. deconstructing classical foods, having 2 dishes for chicken and lamb, having 2 vegetarian options, as well as serving an oyster starter for the VIP section. With the drinks, we're emulating magic with the dry ice effect, as well as garnishing and styling the drinks to emulate a DNA helix. Over with the decor, it mirrors that, and Portia will take you through it.
So with the decor, we try to get centerpieces that will actually speak what DNA and what magic is. So for that reason, my actual Himeli structures are not on that presentation, but I can take you through it. So it's a geometrical structure, which allows the DNA to come right together, as well as the mirror box simplifies and brings together the whole concept of magic.
So it's not in your
Yes. I did not have a chance to put my actual picture of the Himeli structure
Next slide.
This is social media.
Social media plan is mine and Cheryldal's. So we want to plan to make use of the look and feel of the entire place. This is how people will engage on it. They'll capture this, and this, and we're playing on the exclusivity of the social media activity. So what lives in this space, and to use, we're using the Twitter wall and using the platform Twitter, and the hashtag the magic within. Also, the magic is the personal experience that people will feel in the space, and within is within the space, so keeping it within the space. And the rollout, when guests arrive, they'll receive a card with your access to the magic that lives within the event, and this has all the Wi-Fi passwords and information and the event hashtag, as well as on the Twitter wall. These are the prompts, some of the prompts that will appear. So magic is in the air, capture the magic you see, hashtag the magic within.
Okay, Cheryl, what did you do here?
With regards to this, we had an initial discussion, and I would say the framework of the strategy. Definitely the copy and the graphic was done by Tebo. I would say that we added equally to this strategy.
Okay, who came up with the hashtag?
It was Tebo.
It was me.
Okay, next slide.
Cool.
In terms of the goodie bags, my initial thought was to get people practical gifts, the little things that people need but seldom buy themselves. Like, for instance, power banks, diaries, card holders, because it's a card launch. But then I moved from that because I was told that it's boring, it's predictable, whatever. So then we also... Mpho?
I have...
Be quiet, she's talking.
So then we moved, because when we had a meeting, I think on Tuesday evening, where we were conceptualizing ideas and to see how far we are. So in that meeting, I was told that I now need to incorporate the DNA theme in the goodie bag, because we're finding that DNA is not coming out strong in terms of our overall concept. So I then thought of family and getting a family frame for people, because that was something that was personal and DNA and family combined for me. But then Paul said that, no, that's lacking. He's thinking that we should do the African pride, which is where you see the African prints, and that I don't know what the rest of it is.
Did Tennille not do the goodie bags?
No.
I see. Okay, last slide.
The last slide, ma'am, is the budget. So with regards to the budget...
Yes.
With regards to the budget, we had a projected, and we had an actual subtotal. Our projected was what we thought that we would spend on each of these items, and the actual were just the numbers that were received from quotations to give us an exact estimate. However, this is not my complete budget. So
where is the budget?
Who came up with this budget then?
I can see you got startled there.
Sure, did the budget, but the full budget is not in the presentation.
Why is that? Who edited it?
When was the full budget?
I emailed the budget to everyone at the same time.
The full budget?
The full budget.
What time did we speak
You took out
last
the
night?
entertainment and...
What time did we speak last night?
I can't remember what time we spoke, but every single person was CC'd in on that email. And if everyone received the full budget, so would you have, guys. Logistics is missing, and so
all right, stop.
I would like to
no, we said
provide
stop,
evidence
Mpho.
with everything.
Mpho, we said stop. Can you allow the judges to speak, please? Sylvester, you wanted to say something.
I wanted to say that it breaks my heart because as your judges, and I've seen you guys, and I've seen what each and every one of you can do. there's a skill set that everyone holds, and I think that if we just played on that skill set and work together, this should be one of those examples of a great collaboration between us, and actually be able to showcase to our viewers and everybody, even those who didn't make it, why you guys deserve to be here.
Yes.
But
So,
also, sorry to interject, isn't it coincidental that this presentation's terrible?
It is absolutely terrible.
And it's so funny because you can tell you guys weren't working together, because you all know your strengths by now.
I can see, Mpo, that you put this presentation together because you can see the golden thread from slide to slide and it has your signature all over it, right? You talk about her gifts being too boring, but then you bring African things or African-themed things into it, which don't make sense and don't even tie into the brand. So I think as the judges, fellow judges, we've heard enough.
well, I'm not, can I just also just say, part of working together as a team requires very strong collaboration. And it's not even about, oh, I sent it to you yesterday or last night or whatever. It's every single day we get together, we have a checklist, we look at where we are, and we build this presentation together. And this is something that a couple of episodes in, we have been saying that.
Teamwork.
And we've seen that come through week after week. This is the first week. This feels like week number 1.
Please give us a moment. We need to have a conversation.
Yes.
Thank you, judges.
I'm so disappointed.
My goodness gracious. Have you ever in your life...
I can't even hide it. I'm so disappointed.
I was actually holding myself back there. I was actually quite upset. This is the worst week.
Oh, yeah.
This is the worst week. I've never seen such lack of organization.
What was that?
It was, I'll tell you what it was. It was rubbish. It was an utter disaster. I mean, I cannot, this is, at this stage in the competition, believe what just happened. You come in unprepared, there's issues and fighting and threatening to punch people in the face.
Do you do this?
No,
Do you present a client like this? I've never seen anything like this.
Yes.
Ever.
I'm absolutely appalled.